What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Okay, guys, so we are basically going to continue our coverage over Grant Morrison's Batman. Now, with that being said, we actually do pick up with the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. This was like Grant Morrison's second big storyline that he did with the Batman title. Of course, the first one was the Three Batmans, which we just finished covering, but this one right here was his next big thing, the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, because Ra's al Ghul has been gone for a good period of time in DC Comics, and so Grant Morrison felt like it was the right time to bring the character back. Now, with that being said, it was a very big storyline. It had 7 issues for the main story, and I think you had like 2 or 3 for the Prelude, and so when you put all those books together, of course, you had like a huge storyline, which of course took a bunch of writers, a bunch of artists, and a bunch of titles. It went from Batman, Detective Comics, I want to say a Robin book as well, and also Nightwing as well. Like, it jumped around between a lot of different titles to tell this one particular storyline. Now, how I'm going to tell this storyline is we're going to do 3 videos. We'll cover the Prelude in the first video, today's video. We'll cover chapter 1 through 3 or 4 in the second video of the main storyline. And in the final video, we'll cover the rest of the storyline that's left over. Now, with that being said, the Prelude is more the idea of bringing back Ra's al Ghul and kind of learning a little bit of his past. And for Damian Wayne, he never met his grandfather. And so this is him learning more about his grandfather, but also beginning the process of the return of Ra's al Ghul. And so getting into the first chapter of the Prelude to the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul, we actually pick up with a new character known as the White Ghost. Now, as we cover these videos, you're going to learn more about the White Ghost, but for right now, the White Ghost is apparently somebody who's very close to Ra's al Ghul. Now remember, Ra's al Ghul is dead, but the White Ghost is telling Talia al Ghul, and of course telling her that right now, Damian Wayne needs to learn more about his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. Now, the White Ghost does inform Talia al Ghul that apparently he was able to keep the records of Ra's al Ghul's life before he had actually died safe with him, so that Damian Wayne can learn everything about his father, or grandfather, sorry. And so this begins the process of us actually learning the history of Ra's al Ghul. Now, that is the moment we actually do jump over to Bruce Wayne. Now, Bruce Wayne is right now being Batman, and we do see him right now in some kind of location that we have no idea where. But the reason why he's out there away from Gotham right now is because 2 scientists who basically work for his company have just disappeared. And these 2 scientists were working on a very special project. And so, of course, Batman wants to make sure they're okay because he has not got any word from them at all. And no one else has either. Now, of course, when he gets out there, he does run into another scientist who basically works for his company. Now, this other scientist is not going to be important at all for the overall storyline we're covering. But she does tell Batman that the 2 scientists, they knew where to go and where not to go, because this area has been around for a very long time. There are a lot of villages that are still around in this area that were built many years ago. But of course, those villages are areas that scientists were told not to go. And so now the question is then, what happened to them? Because something had to happen to them if they had just basically disappeared. But getting back over to Damian Wayne and Talia al Ghul, we do see Talia al Ghul reading the records of the history of her father to kind of learn more about him. Because when it comes to Ra's al Ghul, you have to remember this man had lived a very long time thanks to the Lazarus Pit. But the question was now, how did he find the Lazarus Pit? And so that is the moment you actually do have Talia reading out to Damian Wayne on how Ra's al Ghul found the Lazarus Pit. Now, of course, this is also the moment where basically we kind of find out how Ra's al Ghul met his first wife, Sora. Now, with that being said, what happened was Ra's al Ghul was going to find the father of Sora. He was looking for her. He was looking for her father because her father was a great doctor and he wanted to learn more about how to be a great doctor. Now, of course, this doctor did tell Ra's al Ghul that he will only accept teaching Ra's al Ghul if Ra's al Ghul do marry his daughter, which was Sora. Now, of course, Sora did not want to get married, but she wanted to make her father happy. And so with that, she said, fine, I will marry you to basically help my father out so that my father will also help you out. And so that is how Ra's al Ghul basically married Sora. Now, of course, right after they got married, a year later, her father died, but her father was able to teach Ra's al Ghul enough things to be a great doctor. But of course, her father had maps to something special. And of course, that something special was the Lazarus Pit. And so that is how Ra's al Ghul was able to find the Lazarus Pit. Now, of course, right after he found the Lazarus Pit, that is the moment the prince of his area had fallen ill. And so, of course, he was thinking about using the Lazarus Pit as a way to kind of help the son out, or he could use his skills as a doctor to basically help the prince out. Now, Sora does beg her husband, Ra's al Ghul, not to do it because the prince is a very cruel man. But at the same time, it's Ra's al Ghul thinking about himself because he thinks that if he's able to actually save the prince, then his reputation will be huge across the lands. And of course, it's Ra's al Ghul just trying to accomplish his life goals. Now, of course, that is the moment you actually do have Talia al Ghul tell us that apparently right after Ra's al Ghul has saved the prince's life using the Lazarus Pit, the prince went crazy and of course ended up killing Sora, the wife of Ra's al Ghul. But with her death, it basically turned Ra's al Ghul into a man who was just trying to be a great doctor and do great things across the world into a man who became a terrorist. It was her death that basically changed Ra's al Ghul into the man we know of as today. And what she means by that is right after the death of Sora, you have Ra's al Ghul go after the prince. And of course, he did cut off the head of the prince, killing him. Now, right after he did that right there, you did have one of the soldiers of Ra's al Ghul basically ask him, kind of told him that the priests are hoping that Ra's al Ghul will kind of spare their lives because Ra's al Ghul was burning down the entire kingdom of the prince. But of course, Ra's al Ghul said no. They can also die as well. Burn their churches, burn everything to the ground. And so it led to Ra's al Ghul just destroying an entire empire. Now, right after he did that, he did meet up with his uncle, where of course he does tell his uncle that he's trying to change the world. He tells his uncle his master plan. Now, his uncle does know that for Ra's al Ghul to actually accomplish this goal, it would take a long time, many lifetimes, to actually accomplish this goal. But you have Ra's al Ghul actually tell his uncle, don't worry, I'll figure it out because actually I have a way to save the world. I will become the demon head and use the Lazarus Pit to accomplish my goal. Now, you do have Talia al Ghul tell us that right after her father basically began to use the Lazarus Pit, some time did pass by. Well, of course, you had Ra's al Ghul actually fight in the French Revolution. Now, he wasn't fighting with Napoleon, he was fighting against Napoleon. And the reason why, because Ra's al Ghul knows that down the road, Napoleon could actually cause a lot of problems for Ra's al Ghul and his new organization that he's trying to rise. And of course, that is also the moment we come to find out the White Ghost was also there as well. The White Ghost was actually fighting alongside Ra's al Ghul in the French Revolution. But of course, it was Ra's al Ghul making sure that Napoleon did not actually win the war because again, if Napoleon did, Ra's al Ghul knew that basically Napoleon could mess up a lot of his plans down the road. Now, getting back over to Batman, we actually do see Batman in the middle of a jungle. And the reason why, because when he did visit one of the towns in the area to get more clues on those missing scientists, somebody told him that there is an old man who kind of hangs out in the jungle who could possibly give Batman more information about those scientists. And so you actually do have Batman go over to that forest. Now, that is also the moment where Batman is confronted by a bunch of ninjas. Now, that tells us right here that basically Batman is nearby where you actually have the League of Assassins trying to bring back Ra's al Ghul at. But the thing is, though, Batman did not come here to stop Ra's al Ghul coming back to life. Batman only came here because he's trying to find those missing scientists. Now, with that being said, to the League of Shadows or League of Assassins and the White Ghost, he feels like Batman is there to basically stop them from bringing back Ra's al Ghul. And so, of course, he does send out a bunch of ninjas, but Batman was able to actually handle those ninjas very easily. But then Batman also finds the old man that apparently lives in the jungle who could possibly help Batman figure out what happened to those two scientists that works for his company. But getting back over to Talia al Ghul, who's reading the records of her father's past, that is the moment she does jump into the section where apparently some time has passed by after the French Revolution, but apparently you had Ra's al Ghul chilling in a different town, and that was the moment you have the White Ghost come to Ra's al Ghul to tell Ra's al Ghul that he found a way to kind of help Ra's al Ghul kind of stay alive or possibly come back to life. And this is going to lead into the idea of the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. And what I mean is that when it comes to Ra's al Ghul, he had been using the Lazarus Pit to stay alive for a very good period of time. But now you have the White Ghost in the past telling Ra's al Ghul there's a possibility you could die and will be unable to actually get your body back over to a Lazarus Pit. But that is the moment you have the White Ghost say, don't worry, I found a ritual that will basically bring you back to life, but you'll take over somebody's body. So they'll go away, but their body will now belong to you. And so that is a backup plan Ra's al Ghul had just in case the Lazarus Pit doesn't work for him. And that backup plan is going to be very important because right after that, you actually do have Damian Wayne getting tired of listening to his mom talk about his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul. And so you have Damian go down to the room that he was not allowed into by the White Ghost to see what in the world is going on. And that is the moment we kind of find out the White Ghost is going to use that backup plan to bring back Ra's al Ghul. But of course, he needs a body to take over. And the body he wants to take over is Damian Wayne. Now that right there is very important for later chapters that we're going to get into. But either way, Damian Wayne did not hear that, but we now know because the White Ghost said, hey, we're trying to use our ritual to bring you back to life, but using your grandson's body to bring you back to life. Now, there is a page where you actually do have Talia al Ghul confront the White Ghost because after reading the records of her father's past, she did find out about the ritual. She knows what the ritual is all about, how Ra's al Ghul can come back to life, but he has to embody a actual person to come back to life. And so that is the moment you have Talia tell the White Ghost that she knows the White Ghost is trying to use her son as a way to bring back her father, which of course will get rid of Damian Wayne, but bring back Ra's al Ghul. Now, with that being said, you have the White Ghost kind of lie to her as a way to keep her calm because he's actually trying to use Damian Wayne's body to bring back Ra's al Ghul. Now we do pick up with Batman once again, and Batman and the old man were able to actually find the dead bodies of those two scientists that Batman has been looking for. Now, right after finding them, Batman realized that these scientists were killed off because they're getting too close to something. And of course, that something was the location of the League of Shadows or League of Assassins. But either way, where Ra's al Ghul could possibly be brought back to life from. And so Batman realized, if Ra's al Ghul ninjas just fought me outside this cave, and then I find the 2 dead bodies of my scientists, that tells me something is going on here. And of course, Ra's al Ghul is possibly involved. And so you have Batman actually go deeper into the cave to figure out what in the world is going on. Now, getting back over to Talia al Ghul and Damian Wayne, you have the White Ghost actually tell Talia al Ghul that the way they're going to bring back Ra's al Ghul is when Damian Wayne actually step into the Lazarus pit. Now, we know what the actual process is to take over his body, but you actually have the White Ghost tell Talia al Ghul that because Damian is the grandson of Ra's al Ghul, his life energy should be enough to bring back Ra's al Ghul, which is a huge lie, and Talia actually knows it's a huge lie. And the reason why I say she knows that, because when you have Batman actually arrive at the location of where they're trying to bring back Ra's al Ghul, Talia and Damian are gone, and the White Ghost and his ninjas were defeated. Now Batman's kind of like, wait, my ex-girlfriend and my son were here. I haven't seen them in ages. Where'd they go? And of course, you have the White Ghost say, they're gone, but now I'm going to get rid of you. And so that actually does lead into a fight between Batman and the White Ghost. But this fight is very short-lived, because right after they begin fighting, Batman is able to take out the ninjas with the White Ghost, but to also take the White Ghost out as well. Now, the White Ghost does fall into, of course, the Lazarus pit, where of course it kind of seemed like maybe the White Ghost could possibly bring back Ra's al Ghul, or the White Ghost cannot bring back Ra's al Ghul at all. But to close on the first chapter of this video, we actually do pick up with Batman going back to his home, Wayne Manor, where of course he does tell Alfred everything that happened to him while he was away from Gotham. Of course, the 2 scientists, why they were killed, but on top of that, how Talia and Damian were nearby, and apparently they were trying to bring back Ra's al Ghul. Not Talia or Damian, but of course the League of Assassins were trying to bring back Ra's al Ghul. And it's kind of Bruce Wayne saying, like, I have to be ready just in case Ra's al Ghul does come back. But at the same time, Bruce Wayne doesn't believe the idea of somebody coming back to life just like that. Now, with that being said, we move on to the second chapter. Now, the second chapter of this storyline is honestly something we can kind of rush right through and move on to the third chapter. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to the second chapter, it is basically a book where you have Damian Wayne just out somewhere, and of course he's confronted by these ghosts. Now, these ghosts are not actually ghosts. They really are just kind of a mind trick being done by the League of Assassins as a way to kind of give Damian Wayne a test, because right after he's able to go through the test and actually able to defeat all these different ghosts, that is the moment you actually do have Robin leave where he was at. Well, we see Ra's al Ghul is alive, and Ra's al Ghul was watching Damian Wayne very closely because, well, you know what? I'm going to say the reason why later on. But of course, Ra's al Ghul is not done with Damian Wayne just yet. Even though Ra's al Ghul has been brought back to life, he still has more problems to go through, and all those problems can be solved thanks to Damian Wayne. Now, we actually do jump over to the third chapter of this storyline, the final chapter of the preludes that lead into the actual resurrection of Ra's al Ghul's storyline, and we actually do pick up with a character known as I Ching. Now, I Ching is a very interesting character because he only appears in 12 books in the history of DC Comics, but heavily in this storyline, and after that, a couple more times here and there. Now, he did first appear actually in a Wonder Woman book, I want to say. But either way, though, when it comes to I Ching, apparently right now he's being confronted by 2 men. Now, these 2 men are basically working for Talia al Ghul. Now, the reason why these two men are here right now, because they're looking for something called the Book of Changes. Now, the Book of Changes is basically going to help Talia al Ghul find a hidden village known as, and I'm going to butcher this, so please forgive me, but it's called Nanda Parbat. I really do know I messed that up completely. But either way, though, the Book of Changes can lead someone to the Nana Parbat. But of course, while you have I Ching actually talking about the Book of Changes, that is the moment you do have one of the guys who are working for Talia al Ghul actually attack his partner. That's the weird part. Now, of course, after attacking his partner, he begins the process of actually attacking I Ching as well. Now, luckily for I Ching, not really lucky, just that Batman was there. Batman does save I Ching from being attacked by this other person. Now, right after Batman does that, you have Batman tell us that the guy who attacked his partner, something had changed in him, something different about him. And that is the moment you kind of have an idea what happened, because I Ching said Talia al Ghul brought them here or told them to come here, but somebody else began to speak to this one right here, another Ghul, kind of hinting at the idea that Ra's al Ghul is back. But then you have I Ching tell Batman there is a possibility that Ra's al Ghul is back. His spirit came back, and right now his spirit is inside somebody else's body. But then we actually pick up with a character known as Sensei. Now, when it comes to Sensei, Sensei used to be second in charge of the League of Assassins right behind Ra's al Ghul. But of course, over the years, you kind of had the group kind of fall apart, and Sensei took some of the members of the League of the Assassins to make his own faction of the group. And of course, he would fight against Ra's al Ghul over the years to have complete control over the League of Assassins. Now, with that being said, you do have Sensei right now just meditating, but that is the moment you actually do have one of his soldiers come to him and tell him some kind of news, which of course does upset him, and he tells the rest of his army to prepare for a war to come. But then we actually pick up with Talia al Ghul right now, meeting up with three other female characters known as Silk Spider, Tiger Moth, and Dragonfly. Now, these three characters are being paid by Talia al Ghul to keep Batman busy while she does something else. Now, these characters, we're going to see them here and there throughout the entire storyline of the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. But honestly, they're not that important at all for the overall storyline. They're kind of just being like henchmen for the entire storyline. But of course, again, they were hired by Talia to keep Batman busy. And so, of course, we actually do pick up with basically the three women characters that Talia al Ghul hired to keep Batman busy actually go out of their way in Gotham to cause a commotion to basically bring Batman out. Now, you do have Batman come there, he fights against them, he's able to actually stop them. But after actually stopping them, though, that is the moment you have Batman actually ask them why in the world they're working for Talia al Ghul. And you have one of the women tell Batman that they're not really working for Talia al Ghul. In reality, they're actually working for Ra's al Ghul. They said Daddy's back, meaning that Ra's al Ghul is back. So even though Talia al Ghul had hired them, in reality, Ra's al Ghul had also hired them as well. And so in reality, they told Talia al Ghul, yes, we'll work for you. But in reality, they're working for Ra's al Ghul. Now, we do actually jump over to Talia al Ghul running into her father, Ra's al Ghul, because while Talia al Ghul was kind of in her office, she was confronted by her father, Ra's al Ghul. Now, after being confronted by her father, she can't believe that her father is alive again. This is something that's kind of hard to believe. But you do have Ra's al Ghul tell Talia, yes, it is him. He is alive again, and he is back to basically take over the League of Assassins. But of course, that is the moment he does get to meet his grandson, Damian Wayne. Now, you do have Ra's al Ghul get kind of upset with Damian, not because Damian is kind of like, you know, I hate you, grandfather, but more because what Damian is wearing. Because Damian is wearing a Robin outfit, which does tell Ra's al Ghul that basically the father of Damian is Bruce Wayne, something that Ra's al Ghul doesn't really like that much. But either way, you do have Ra's al Ghul wanting to reconnect with Talia, but also connect with Damian. Now, of course, we know why he wants to connect with Damian, but right now, Damian does not have an idea about why Ra's al Ghul wants to reconnect with his grandson. Now, we do get this page where basically we do see Batman meeting up with I Ching, where you do have Batman tell I Ching that basically Ra's al Ghul is alive again. Now, you do have I Ching tell Batman that while Batman was busy with those 3 female villains, basically an action movie star body had vanished. And of course, it was taken over by Ra's al Ghul, meaning that the spirit of Ra's al Ghul took over the body of that movie action star's body. Now, the problem is, though, that body cannot last forever, meaning that for Ra's al Ghul to stay on Earth, he has to find a legit body that can help him stay alive. Now, he has 2 options. The first option is Damian Wayne, but there is a second option. But of course, to get that second option, he has to go over to a place called Nada Parbat. Of course, we heard that earlier in this chapter, but to get to that location, you have to find different clues that can actually lead you to that location. Now, with all that being said, though, you actually do have Sensei tell his warriors to get ready to basically burn down Nada Parbat to stop Ra's al Ghul from coming back completely to life, but to also slay the demon, of course, meaning Ra's al Ghul. But that is the moment we actually do jump back over to Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, and Damian Wayne. Now, this is the moment where you basically do have Ra's al Ghul tell us that when it comes to the body he is using, the body is dying off, which we already did know that, but the body was actually selected for Ra's al Ghul to use because the movie star was actually somebody who worked for Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul felt like this body would be perfect for him to come back to life in. But the problem is, though, this body had got cancer before it was taken over by Ra's al Ghul, and so the body is dying off, and Ra's al Ghul can no longer use that body. And so with that body falling apart, Ra's al Ghul has to find an actual body that will basically keep him alive forever. Now, like I said earlier, he only has 2 options. His first option is Damian Wayne. Because Damian Wayne carries his DNA, Ra's al Ghul knows if he takes over that body, his soul will stay in there permanently and his body will be okay. But of course, Damian Wayne is not okay with the idea of somebody taking over his body. And so you do have Damian Wayne basically say no, like, you're not taking over my body. And matter of fact, my father, Batman, is going to stop you. And so this does lead into a huge battle scene between the men who did work for Talia, but they're now working for Ra's al Ghul, and they're trying to capture Damian Wayne. But of course, Damian Wayne was well trained by the League of Assassins that Damian Wayne was able to escape and jump out the window, which of course is a huge problem because now you're talking about the possibility for Ra's al Ghul to come back to life getting away, which could mean now Ra's al Ghul is going to send an entire army to chase after Damian Wayne to bring him back. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, I'll see y'all next time. Later.